Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I'm Sunny, your host, and today we are going to continue our series that is FastAPI for AI. And I know you guys are waiting for an AI application to be built with the FastAPI here. But before we jump into that, I need to also tell you in a simple format that what are the other functionality that FastAPI has. So we will have few more videos, and then after that we can simply jump into an AI application. Okay. But by that time, whatever I'm going to express here or build here, so that will serve as a base for that. Okay, so I hope you understand and will continue with me with this playlist. So in this video, we will try to understand that what were the drawbacks of the previous application. Okay, and we will try to solve that issues using the whatever the inbuilt methods and classes which are available in FastAPI. We will try to utilize it and try to upgrade this application that we have as of now. Okay, so I have prepared a documentation of observation here, as you can see on this. So where I have mentioned that what are the drawbacks, what improvements we can do, and then we have the summary of changes that we are going to bring in here. Okay, so let's look at the first point here. We will just look into the drawbacks first, and in the drawbacks, as you can see that we have, or let me also keep things side by side so that you can visualize it better. I will keep this on right. Yep. So now I think you can see it. And also let me make changes to the pointer here so that we can visualize it properly. Yeah, so let's continue here. So we have the drawbacks here that is I've listed first. So the first one is about we have the in-memory tweets. That is, there is no database at all here, as you can see, right? So that is not a good thing to be done in production, right? So whenever you will start server, all your tweets will be gone. So it's better to have a database there. Okay, but in this video, I'm not going to introduce that database. We will focus on the other drawbacks and then we will improve that into the next video. So the next topic here is about the drawbacks is the lack of data validation. So we don't have any data validation here at all in my in the videos in the code that we have. So that we are going to introduce with the help of Pydantic. Okay, so it will do some of the job for us. Then we talk about the no exception handling. So yes, exception handling is still missing. So we will take care of that with the help of bringing some response models or bringing some, again, Pydantic based models. So that will also help us to do this better. And wherever needed, so we will add on this exception handling. Then we have missing proper HTTP status code. Yes, there are different types of status codes HTTP status codes are there, which are available. So I can show you that as well. Just a second. Yeah, so if you go to the HTTP, if you search for HTTP response status codes, you can get into this small MD and web stocks where you will get an idea that what are the different type of status codes are available. Okay, so there are different responses, HTTP responses that we get. For example, let's say whenever you successfully, let's say, get a get request, place a get request or post request, so you get a 200 OK outcome, right? You might have seen in the terminal when I run this previously. Okay, in the previous videos also you might have seen, right? So that is called as HTTP status code. So 200 stands for that it's an OK. That means whatever you have sent or requested, uh, it successfully placed. That request was successfully placed. So that is the meaning of 200. And there are different values of it. Like for example, you can see this is the successful response, right? 200 OK. 201 stands for created and so on. So we'll try to use them wisely here so that what happens that whenever we send this HTTP request to the front end, so front end can process them very well. So for example, let's say if we have 404 error, let's say if some resources you requested, it is not present. So it will represent a 404 error. And for that 404 error, you can get a proper visual outcome. So just for example, let's say if I go to github.com and if I go to my username, and then if I look for, let's say if I look for FastAPI for AI, okay, so that means this will be a 200 OK request. Okay, but let's say if I try to change this name, let's say maybe blockchain. Okay, just with this, actually this does not exist, right? So if I just do this, we will see I got 404, right? So this is a visual representation in front end, but at the back end, it would have been sent as a status code 404. Okay, so by processing that status code, GitHub is trying to show you this visually appealing front end. Okay, so something like that we are going to do it here. Okay, next is the last one is about timestamp generation. So in timestamp generation, what happens is right now we are generating timestamp as per uh, the server or as per my PC. Okay, whatever is the local time here. But let's say if you have if you want to deploy this application elsewhere, everywhere else in the world, okay, so there every country or every such places have different time zone, right? So in order to deal with that, what your backend should actually always generate timestamp in UTC format, that is universal timing, okay, format. And so based on that, we will, so let's say if you deploy it anywhere else, let's say if you are in India and you want to deploy it in US, so we can calculate the US time zone with respect to UTC timestamp that we have. Okay, so that is doable. So that can be handled in front end itself. Okay, we don't have to do it in the back end. I hope you got it. So that is why we will be changing the timestamp as well. Okay, so the improvements that we are going to do, as we can see on the screen. So data validation, we are going to implement exception handling. Obviously, we will bring in the HTTP status code and UTC timestamp as well. And these are the summary of changes that we are going to do. So let's start building that. Okay, I will keep the same in it may not py here, and then I will start making the changes here, and I will also show you at the end that what was the changes that has been done. So okay, so let's first of all try to solve this issue about the timestamp. So we need to convert this into a UTC time zone. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do here is I will just select this and I will change the name of this function. So let's change it to first of all, when you go here and you can right click and then select the rename symbol option. Select the rename symbol option, and then once you click on it, so you can rename this function elsewhere as well. Let's say UTC timestamp. Once you enter, so you can see that everywhere it has changed. Okay, and if you want to see that what changes has been done, so you can even, let's say if you want to again change it to something else, let's say I add underscore here, and if I want to see the preview of it, just simply press Control Enter, and you can see the preview that where it is going to affect. Okay, right now we are in the, I have already changed, so I will not going to change it. If you want to change it, you can simply click on accept. Okay, so now after this, what I'm going to do is I will going to change the I will import date time. So from date time, import date time, and also import time zone. Okay, so we will try to utilize this and change this. So I will say date time dot now. Okay, and then now here in this, I will pass an argument of time zone dot UTC. So it will take the UTC timestamp. Okay, so this way we have made first change, that is about updating the time zone first of all, time zone functionality. And let's also change the doc string so that we can mention what this function does. Okay, so that's about the time zone. Now let's try to make some more changes. Let's try to bring in Pydantic here for the data validation. Okay, so I will import from Pydantic, import base model. Then we'll also need field, and we'll also need some string constants. Okay, so let's try to build first of all the first data type which we are going to pass in here. That is going to be tweet base model. You have to inherit from the base model. If you know how Pydantic works, then I think you can understand that. But if not, then I will show you that what effects it can pose when we try to utilize it. Okay. So first of all, this tweet class will have a tweet parameter here, and this will be of type string, and it will have a default value which is of type field. Uh, and this is going to be, I need to pass in 3 ellipses here, or 3 dots. which will specify that it is going to be a mandatory field that you need to pass on. It's not an optional field. And then the minimum length of this would be 1, and then max length will be, let's say, 280 characters. So why I'm doing this? Because normally tweets are smaller, okay, and you can see there is some sort of a maximum length category criteria is there, right? So I'm just passing it here that it's going to be of 1 to 280 length. Okay, you cannot create a tweet with null value. Okay, so that is why we wanted to specify that. So this will be automatically taken care. The next is we are going to create another class which will be called as tweet in database. How it will look like. So tweet in DB will be inheriting the tweet that we have, and we will try to expand it. Okay, so apart from the tweet, we need timestamp. Okay, so timestamp is going to be mostly it's going to be string, but there has to be some constraint, that is it will be of length 14 first of all. Okay, and then all 14 will be of all 14 will be of digital type, or sorry, digits. It's going to be digits, right? So we will specify it here by calling it as, there is something called as annotated type stamp, where uh, what we do is we specify, and first of all we need to also import annotated from typing import annotated. And then what annotated does is, like, you have to tell that, okay, what is the type of it? First of all, it is going to be of string type, right? And then we need to also specify that if you want to apply any sort of validation on this. So I will just simply do a string, bring this string constant here, and I will specify the pattern here. And that pattern is going to be of, here we will specify the regular expression pattern. So it will be a number, okay, it will be a digit, and then it will be of size, let's say 14 it's going to be, and then it's a dollar sign here. Okay, so what it will do, this number will start and end with the digits of size 14. So that is what it means. Okay, so and then apart from this, yeah, so this is going to be the type of it. Now the next one is about username. So username is going to be of type, obviously it's going to be type of string. Okay, and then we have the edited timestamp that, if you remember, we have brought in previously. So edited timestamp will be, again it will be annotated, and then it will be of the same type here. But in this case here, it's going to be, there is going to be optional value here, that is none, and default also is going to be none. Let's say if I do not provide it, so default will be automatically captured here by passing it the null value here, the default value of edited timestamp. Okay, and now according to this, we will try to change this variable here, and let's bring it to, so I will just simply copy paste this, make the changes. As you can see, we have yeah, so we have to make changes here. That is, let's make it capital. So yeah, so we have created some bunch of tweets, which is in-memory tweets, which is going to be always there. We will try to utilize them here. Okay, now let's jump into the first Twitter timeline. So we have made the like, we have defined the data type, okay, here, which we are going to utilize. And now the first one is about the Twitter timeline. Okay, so the Twitter timeline here, it's actually returns list of tweets, right? It is going to be a list of tweet in DB type, right? That's what we expect. So we need to specify that here in the line number 30, that it's going to be the response model of it. Okay, the response model type will be list of tweet DB. Okay, let's make this variable change here. Now again here, so it generally it can also represent, it can also return an entry like empty list as well, right? If it is empty totally. So what I will do is I will simply just write an if condition here. Let's say if tweet DB is not empty, then return the tweet. Otherwise, else we can simply raise an HTTP exception. Okay, we will simply raise an HTTP exception here, and let's also import that HTTP exception. Also, we can import the status. Okay, that will help you to give the status code. So if the list is empty, so first of all, it will send a status code. and that will be of types, that will be of status dot, and then you can see when you press dot here. So FastAPI already have these definitions ready here so that you can understand that what each means. So right now we can say that 204, that there is no content. Okay, the request is fine. It's not a very big error or something. The request is fine, but the contents are empty. So we can simply say that no tweets found, or we can say no tweets present. So that will become your first endpoint. Okay. So we have added a response model. That means it will automatically check that. So it will automatically check the output type as well as the, uh, it will also raise an exception if there is no tweets present. Okay. So let's go to the next part, that is about user timeline. So here since we are iterating on tweets DB, so we will do that. And here the username can be utilized as an attribute. So I'll simply say tweet.username here, and rest of things will remain same. Okay. But here again, the response type will be again the same. So we will specify this here. Okay. Now the next part is about posting of a tweet. So here, as you can see, I'm just having dictionary. So we need to replace this dictionary with the class that is tweet in DB. Okay. And then since we have changed the type of, or since we changed the name here, so we will simply say tweet db.append new tweet. Okay. So what is we have done, simply we have added this class, and we are providing the attributes to this. Okay. The arguments of it, keyword arguments, that is timestamp, tweet, and username, that has been supplied here. And in this case, the response type or response model will be, it's not going to be list of it. It is simply going to be the list, this tweet in DB, because we are just simply returning that if this is a new tweet that has been created. So that is your post tweet method. The next after this, so what we will going to do is it's about the updating of a tweet, right? So this again become tweet underscore DB, and instead of having them as this, we will use them as a method here. Sorry, not method, an attribute or property. This remains same. Okay. If no tweet, then you need to raise an error. Okay. If they do not find any tweet here, so it should raise an error here. Now you can see that this is weird, right? This is not a proper way. So what I will do, I will change it to, instead of raising, we will simply say raise HTTP exception, and then here we will say that status code is equals to status dot, it's going to be 404 because we are not able to find that tweet which you wanted to update, and that's an error because you were looking for it. So you will say HTTP 404 not found, and then we will say the detail, we will pass it here. So detail will be tweet with timestamp and username is not found. The next is, after that we will again we need to make changes here. Okay, so these changes is done. And then one more thing that you can identify here, so I did not specify that this tweet type, so this tweets type should be of type, not tweet in DB, it should be of type tweet, because we just want tweet from the user, right, whenever you want to post it, because timestamp will be automatically generated. Okay, and also we need username, so username is already specified, so those two things we are required. And when you want to update a tweet, again you need username, timestamp that you want to do, and then tweet. We don't want the entire tweet, we don't need dictionary here, because if you specify the type dictionary here, so you can pass in anything, right? But when we pass here tweet of type tweet, then that means we are expecting only this, right, of this class, where if you look at the tweet class, so it is only expecting one key, that is tweet. Okay, so this completes our update tweet method. And then similarly we will try to do the same changes here in the delete tweet. So again, in the delete tweet, we need the same expression which is here. Here also, we will remove the tweet that needs to be deleted. Now, apart from this, we are sending a message here that this tweet is being deleted. So instead of sending message like this, we will send a JSON response type. So how to do that? We will simply again import. We will simply say from FastAPI dot responses import JSON response, and we will specify this here that this is of type JSON response. Here we can pass in the content that we want to pass. The content will remain this message, that is this tweet is being deleted. Okay. And then we can also specify the status code. The status code will status dot. Okay, I'm sorry. We need to pass in the comma here first. Then here we can simply say status dot. This is going to be accepted. That means 202. So we will pass this status code. And just like that, we can also specify something here. So instead of deleted, we will say here deleted. Okay. And since we are not returning any response model, that is Pydantic model, so we can simply say a return type here. And those return type is nothing but so type JSONResponse. So that way we have completed the application. Okay, now let's try to run this application. So I will open my terminal. I will simply say FastAPI run, sorry, dev, then main.py. Okay, so once I run this, then I can open this docs. Okay, so now as you can see, we have the this is our default that is being present from the previous account. And then you can see the schemas are now got created at the bottom. Okay, and these schemas, as you can see that we have the HTTP validation error here. Okay, which will check these items, right? That is how the validation error will be raised. Then if there is a validation error, okay, so it will simply say it will send you detailed, it will send you items and the location where it is missing and so on. Then it will also have a tweet type. So it is expecting, you can see all whatever I have written in the code is being displayed here. Okay, it says 1 to 280 character, it is of type string. Next is tweet in DB. As you can see, since it is inherited from tweet, it is also going to have tweet here, which is exactly same. Then we have timestamp, you can see, which is matches the string of type this, right? And so on. And then edited time of, in the edited timestamp, you can see it is of type string and then null. So that means it is the schema is also being collected. Then we have validation error again. So validation error, if there is any validation issue arises in any one of these outcome or input, then it will be highlighted here. So let's try to first of all go to the first route here, which we have built. That is Twitter timeline. If I try this out and if I execute it, so you can see it has given me all the outcome that I require here. Okay. And the response type code is here is HTTP code is 200. Okay. Now let's do the, let's try to see the timeline of a user here. So if I click on try it out, I will specify the user here. So since this is the user which is already present, it's my user ID. So if I click on execute, so it will show me all the list of responses that is from this username, right? Now let's say if I want to make changes into any one of the these, if I want to update them or if I want to create them, so we can go to the next route. Okay, let's try to go and post a tweet. So let's try it out, and by this will be the post by, let's say, let's say create one more one. So let's say Sunny. Okay, and then you can see that the request body is automatically it's picking up the tweet because I did not specify tweet in DB, right? Otherwise, if you can remember previously, it used to be three inputs here. Okay, tweet, then timestamp, and so on. But right now it is just plain tweet because I have separated that data type. Now let's say specify here that let's say FastAPI is awesome. Okay, and this is my tweet, and then let's say if I click on execute here, so you can see it has created the response body is 200. That means it has got created. Okay, and then let's say if you want to change it, so you can change it this also, like that if you want to make it something different here. I mean, if you want to change the status code, so you can just send a different response body. That is up to you. Right now, this is fine. Like it is being created and is also returning that this is the time that tweet that got created just now. So if I want to again check the Twitter timeline and just try to execute, you can see that we have now a list of 4 tweets. Earlier we had 3 only. Okay, now let's go to the date part. So let's go to the, let's copy this timestamp which is going to be required. So let's go to update tweet, and I want to go for this user, Stevens and Hawk, and then I will simply say, okay, I think this I need to capture the timestamp. So the timestamp for that was, I think, this word. Okay, and then what I want to change here. So let's say, hello, I mean, the word of, let's say robotics. Okay. Hello world of robotics. And then if I execute it, so you can see I got the message, that tweet with timestamp. This got created. The status code is 202. Okay. That means it got expected. Oh, sorry, it got accepted. So yeah, so this is the thing. And then let's say if I want to change something, right? Let's say if I make any mistake here, I say tweets or something else. Let's say if I add 2 underscore here, if I make a mistake there, okay. So if I click on execute, so you will see that it will say 4022 code, which is, and also it will say unprocessable entity, and it is saying that the type is of missing, and what it is missing, it is missing tweet, and it is a type which is, it is a message. It says that it's a field required, okay, and the input that you pass is this one. So it is also telling you that what is the mistake, where the mistake that you have done, okay, while passing this input. And if I make it, let's say if I keep it this way, and then if I make changes here, let's say if I add maybe something which does not exist, let's say if I add 99 at the end, okay, and if I try to run this, so you can see that it will say that 404, that this is not found. It says this timestamp or for this user is not found. Okay, that is also good, right? So it is working as it is that we expect. Now let's say if I want to delete something, okay, and also let's since we have updated, right, so we should also check the again execute it and then see the timeline here. So if you see the one that I updated, it has now a edited timestamp value, which is not null now. It has some value, right? Okay, so you can see that it is working as expected. Now let's say if I want to delete the same timestamp, if I want to delete, I will just copy it and I will go to delete timestamp and I will mention the try it out. First of all, click on try it out and then mention the username and then provide the timestamp. And if I click on execute, so you can see it says this 202 status code. That means it accepted the request. It has deleted this. Okay. Now if I try to execute it again, because it's already deleted, it will give you a 404 error now. Okay, it's not found. That means it is working fine. Okay, so that's how what we did is we have created a very good endpoints now with the data validation that is giving us the proper error as well. Okay, so that's it, I guess. So that's how we have updated our code. And now what we can do is let's see the comparison quickly. So if I click on this side by side, so these are the changes. As you can see, we have imported some bunch of things. We have introduced type validation, like data types here. We have created tweet and tweet in DB. We have updated our tweets to tweet in the tweet DB. Okay, and then we have created these initial entries. Okay, and then we have the get UTC timestamp update. We have updated the Twitter timeline. We have updated the response model here for getting the user timeline, and then for the posting of the tweet as well. Okay, and similarly we have done the for the updating tweet and deleting tweet. So these are the changes that we have done. So you can see, although we have introduced some bunch of extra stuff, but that will make this that actually improves this application, and it makes it more robust. Okay. Yeah. So before I end this, let me also show you the last part, that is about, let's say if we don't have any tweet. Okay, so I did not show you this, right, where there is no content present. So let's remove these contents, or let me comment this out. Okay, so that it will behave as there is no tweet present inside the database. And if I refresh this, and if I try to now try it out and then click on execute, so you will see that it's at 204. Okay, response type is 204. That means there is nothing is present. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you, that if there is no content, so you will get a 204 type error. Okay, so that's all for this video. In the next video, we will try to do some observation, and then we will try to improve our application further by bringing in the database. Okay, so that's all for this. See you all in the next video. Thank you.